The Ukrainian people's resilience and determination are truly commendable. And the world is watching because this is the biggest conflict since World War II. I thought I would spend the rest of my career and my life living in the desert, but now I found myself here in this beautiful country in Ukraine.
Within a month, they started to deliver the services directly to people.
Pearl is building economic resilience by promoting self-sufficiency, which will reduce the dependency of Ukrainians on humanitarian aid.
Hello and welcome to Ukraine in Flames, a special project by Ukraine Media Centre and NGO Euro-Atlantic Course. And I'm your host, Matt Wickham. This episode today delves into Ukrainian businesses during wartime, highlighting their resilience and the support offered by Ukraine's partners. Additionally, it focuses on the Pearl Project program, a key initiative spearheaded by global communities. If you want to learn more about this subject, please continue watching this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Our first guest today, Justin Sekriz, Deputy Director of Global Communities in Ukraine, sheds light on the Pearl program, pivotal in bolstering small and medium-sized businesses. Its aim to liberate Ukraine from its reliance on humanitarian aid and foster self-sufficiency. Let's listen.
For the last 4 months, I've been in Ukraine, and it's been a very exciting 4 months. And being a visitor, I'm a guest in your country, so I should recognize the situation that you are all facing in the context that we're in right now. So I understand that all of you are dealing with a situation that far surpasses anything that I have experienced before. I remember in the early parts of 2022, I was in Yemen, sitting on my couch, watching the situation unfold on TV. And we were shocked. We were shocked that after a week, Ukraine was able to stop Russia, one of the most powerful militaries in the world, in their tracks and then send them backwards. And my takeaway was that, not only mine, but we discussed this as a team. You know, this was in Yemen, you know, far away from here. People were very interested. The world's eyes were on us. So our takeaway was that the Ukrainian people's resilience and determination are truly commendable. And the world is watching because this is the biggest conflict since World War II. I'm a veteran myself, having served in the American military, but everything that I have taken part of up to this point in my life, it really feels insignificant compared to what you guys are facing right now. And this is my first time working in Europe. I thought I would spend the rest of my career and my life living in the desert, but now I found myself here in this beautiful country in Ukraine. I couldn't be more happy. And global communities in Ukraine, we have 3 active programs right now. So we have the Dobre program. As mentioned, it was kicked off in 2016. It's funded by USAID, and it provides support to the Ukrainian government under their decentralization objective. And that will continue through 2025. We hope that it will be extended for an additional year, taking it into 2026, but it's too soon to tell at this point. We also have a humanitarian aid program, also funded by USAID, and those usually run in 12-month increments. So currently we're wrapping up and closing out one humanitarian aid program, and that's going to be followed by a new one. And then we have the Pearl program. So Pearl is funded directly by global communities, and that's from money out of our own pockets. And Pearl has become a program that is close to all our hearts. It is our smallest initiative, and it may be our smallest initiative globally, but I believe that it will have the most significant impact on all of you. Pearl is building economic resilience by promoting self-sufficiency, which will reduce the dependency of Ukrainians on humanitarian aid. And through the support provided to you by Pearl, you are preserving existing jobs and you're creating new jobs. And I do believe that donors understand how crucial income generation is and how thriving local businesses contribute to community stability. But in a crisis such as this, a large portion of the humanitarian aid that is provided is spent initially on food kits and NFI kits and things like that. And those are life-saving need. Those are very needed initially, and they continue to be a need, as we move forward in certain parts of the country. But during my 4 months and my travels throughout Ukraine, most of the Ukrainian government leadership and community leaders that I have met with are trying to send a message to organizations like Global Communities. The message is, if we really want to address vulnerable populations in Ukraine, we need to support small businesses and help the Ukrainian people stand on their own 2 feet. And internally, within Global Communities, we have Vitaliy, who is our local economic development expert. And he's also pushing this message very firmly, very aggressively. And his message was heard by our leadership in America. And of course, the result was the Pearl program. So I would just like to give my 2 cents where I attribute the formation of the Pearl program and the success of the Pearl program to Vitaliy's tireless efforts, and of course to Petro's exceptional hard work and the rest of the Pearl team. So I would just like to give thanks to Vitaliy's initiative and the time that he's taken to really push the message across to Global Communities leadership. And I hope we can get this message across to the broader donor network in Ukraine.
Our next guest, Vitaliy Yurkiv, Pearl Program Coordinator and Technical Representative at Global Communities, highlights the program's emphasis on sustaining ongoing businesses and business operations and cultivating new ventures. With legal support from volunteers, businesses were established within a week and provided services to the community within a month, recognizing the importance of existing businesses. They strive to generate fresh job opportunities and enhance the lives of local residents.
It started with the idea which dropped into minds of our colleagues in Washington and other countries. So they raised money, charity money, and then came to decision to support the those businesses which suffered most because of the war, and thus allow businesses not to stop their activities, and at the same time provide maybe new businesses with opportunity to develop, especially those who have started their work successfully and would like to scale on. And I'm very grateful to all those who have established this pool of grants and came to this very fruitful, I think, idea, very productive idea. Working with the partner communities, we have 100 communities, by the way. Our partner communities, we quite often heard a request to provide direct support to some businesses. Dobra program is more focused on local governments and assistance to the local governments, and direct support to local businesses was impossible for Dobra. But we have found this opportunity to launch a new program and support businesses directly. And my colleagues from Chernihiv and Chernovtsi oblasts will describe their experience. Actually, doing that, we used volunteer support. We included also legal support. We had launched the project call, which became very reputable in Ukraine, and having received first money from our grants, businesses immediately, within a week, purchased necessary equipment, hired people, and within a month, they started to deliver the services directly to people. And today, you will hear about that. I support and share the idea of Justin that business development in local communities should be developed. We should not think only about attraction of investors. We have to support those who already exist, who would like to develop, who is eager to create new jobs and to organize decent life for local people. That's why providing support to local businesses, developing and nursing local entrepreneurship, we will allow people to become even more resilient in these hard times.
The last guest in today's episode, Stepan Kuibida, Director of the Economic Policy Department, Lviv, Regional State Administration, tells how, as war erupted, Lviv became a haven for fleeing companies. To help them stay afloat, the city offered grants and loans to buy crucial equipment, ensuring their continued operations despite the war.
You may know that Lviv region is one of those regions in Ukraine where even before the full-scale invasion, we had broad business support programs. But after a full-scale invasion, we understood even more clearly that businesses needed our support, and quite often we discovered that not always local entrepreneurs were able to approach to the central programs, so they could easily approach to regional ones. So we had established a special program which had to be operational during martial law. The logic was quite simple. It was as follows: three main components. Our general idea was that Lviv region and many western regions of Ukraine had become a shelter for many shelter and centers of relocation for many businesses, and that's why we suggested support to those companies which relocated to Lviv region from central Ukraine, and we promised them 100,000 hryvnia. But if the enterprises or companies managed to relocate at least 20 employees and launch business in Lviv region, we doubled that grant. And then if the enterprise was then hiring local residents, that 200,000 were again doubled. So for middle size and bigger businesses, that was a good offer. but how useful that was, I cannot say. But for smaller companies, it was a meaningful support and provided a certainty in operating business. The second, majority of business region enterprises are export-oriented, but they have some issues. For small and micro enterprises, it is not so easy to start export operations because they lack knowledge. And when they start doing that independently, that is going to new foreign markets, or if they do it through outsourcing, this takes much less effort, up to 75% of necessary effort. Small business, small and micro businesses offered services. We allowed them to export them, and that worked quite well. And the third direction were grants or loans for procurement of equipment. If you, a company which works in light industry, agrarian processing industry, agro-processing industry, or machine building, you may apply for financial support up to $500,000 for procurement of equipment. And your produce is designed for the defense purposes, that is for the army, then you may get this grant. Because we clearly understood that army needed those services most.
You've been watching the special project by Ukraine Media Center and NGO Euro-Atlantic course dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine in Flames. In the description under this video, you can find more information on how you can help Ukraine fight Russian aggression. If you find our work useful, please like and share this video. Slava Ukraini!